You seriously won't believe the AI leaps we've seen just lately. We're talking about tech that automatically rescues your botched AI videos. Goodbye, armless Bigfoot generates seamless movie sequences that just keep going and stay consistent, and creates jaw-dropping images faster than you can blink, sometimes in just one step. Plus, we'll look at Google's new champion AI that can digest entire books worth of info at once, an open source model that's unbelievably powerful and dirt cheap, and even a talking AI assistant you can run locally on your own gear. Ready to see what's possible now? Let's get started. Alright, let's talk about something truly incredible in the AI video world. It's called Video T1, and honestly, this thing is a bit of a game changer. What it does is pretty clever. It helps existing video generators create much better videos, not by retraining the whole model, which takes ages, but by adding some extra thinking power while the video is being made. Think of it like giving the AI a moment to pause and consider, leading to a noticeably better final product. This whole concept is called test time scaling. Now, if that sounds a bit familiar, it's similar to how some advanced language models work, the ones that seem to think before giving you an answer, instead of just blurting out the first thing that comes to mind. They use extra compute time to refine their response. Video T1 does the same thing but for video generation. It invests a bit more processing power during the creation process, and boom, you often get a significantly improved video clip. Let's look at some examples because seeing is believing, right? So here we have a video made by an open source model called Pyramid Flow. The prompt was a zebra and a giraffe. The original video, well, it gave us a zebra, but the giraffe seems to have missed the memo. Now run the exact same prompt with the exact same settings, but sprinkle in this Video T1 test time scaling method. Look at that. It's not perfect, but hey, there's a giraffe in the scene now. The accuracy just jumped way up. Here's another one. Robot dancing in Times Square, again using Pyramid Flow initially. The original video. Let's just say the robot's dancing skills were, questionable. It just couldn't quite handle it. But add the Video T1 secret sauce, keeping everything else the same, and suddenly the robot looks much more convincing and actually seems to be busting some moves. The difference is pretty stark. Or how about this prompt? A cat wearing sunglasses and working as a lifeguard at a pool. The original attempt is kind of funny. The cat's there, the sunglasses are a bit wonky, and it doesn't exactly scream lifeguard. Apply the test time scaling though, and the cat gets a serious upgrade. The sunglasses look better, and it actually looks like it could plausibly be on duty by the pool. Same story with a sheep and a cow. The original missed the cow entirely, but the improved version managed to get both animals in the picture. And the really cool part? This technique isn't tied to just one specific video model. It's model agnostic, meaning you can slap it onto pretty much any video generator to give it a boost. Let's take another model, Cog Video. Prompt: a panda playing guitar by a campfire. The original output is, well, it's frankly terrible, like abstract art gone wrong. But apply test time scaling, and suddenly you get a much clearer, more coherent scene of a panda with a guitar near a fire. It's a night and day difference. Another Cog Video example, Bigfoot walking in a snowstorm. The original attempt gave us a Bigfoot who seems to have misplaced his arms somewhere. Not ideal. Use the scaling method, and boom, Bigfoot gets his arms back and looks much more like the legendary creature we imagine. Or consider a panda drinking coffee at a cafe. In the original, the panda is chewing on a spoon, definitely not drinking coffee. It's baffling. Apply the Video T1 method, same settings otherwise, and look, a panda clearly interacting with a cup in a cafe setting, much closer to the prompt. So, how does this magic actually happen? It boils down to two main strategies for this test time scaling. One is called random linear search. Basically, it takes your text prompt, generates several different images based on it to use as potential starting frames for the video. Then, for each of those starting images, it generates a short video clip. Finally, it uses a clever reward model. Think of it as a quality judge to score every clip and picks the one with the highest score as the final output. Simple, but effective. The second strategy is called tree of frames search. This one's a bit more involved. Again, it starts by generating multiple potential first frames from your prompt, but then it puts them through a series of checks using these reward models. First, it weeds out any video generations that have wonky physics or just look unstable. Then, the survivors go through another check that looks for consistency and sensible motion, ditching clips that are jerky or don't make sense over time. Finally, the remaining candidates face one last judge that picks the video with the overall best quality that also matches the text prompt most closely. It's like a multi-stage knockout tournament for video clips. What the researchers found is pretty interesting. No matter which video generator model they tested, applying this test time scaling always improved the quality compared to the basic initial generation. They also looked at how generating more sample clips affects the outcome. If you generate more clips, which takes more compute time, naturally, the quality generally goes up, as you have more options to choose from. However, the improvement starts to level off after a certain point, so there are diminishing returns. They also noticed that things like scene details and how clear the objects are get a big boost from this method. Other aspects like smooth motion or reducing that annoying flickering are apparently a bit harder to fix this way, but still, the overall improvement is undeniable. And the best news? If you're technically inclined, the code for Video T1 is already out there. You can find it on GitHub, complete with instructions on how to download and use it yourself locally. Since it works with potentially any video generator, it's a super versatile tool to have in your AI toolkit. Definitely worth checking out if you're into generating AI videos. Okay, let's dive into the next tool. This AI technique is seriously useful, even if it doesn't have a flashy name. The paper calls it long context tuning for video generation, but what it does is the important part. It can create genuinely long videos by stitching together multiple different shots into one coherent narrative. This is a big deal for AI video. Imagine you're telling it a story, shot by shot. First, you ask for a flying view of the forest. Okay, cool clip. Then, for the next shot, you say low angle view. The AI generates a new scene, but crucially, it keeps the style and feel of the forest consistent. Next up, the boy and the girl get lost in the forest. And bam, it generates a scene with a boy and girl, right there in that same forest style. Keep going. The girl comes out of the forest. Then, the boy steps towards the camera. Notice how it remembers what the boy and girl look like across these different clips? That consistency is key. It continues. A point of view of the mysterious forest. Then the boy and girl meet and discuss. Again, looking like the same characters. You can even get close-ups, like the boy's serious expression or the girl's worrying face, and they maintain that consistent appearance and detail. Finally, the camera follows them continuing the journey. You see how it builds? It's like having an AI video editor that not only cuts scenes together but generates them on the fly, making sure everything looks like it belongs in the same movie. Maintaining character consistency like this is super important for longer videos, and this AI nails it. With this kind of tool, you could create some amazing things. Think about generating entire nature documentaries. First prompt, a wide shot of a beautiful coral reef. Next, electric blue and yellow fish swimming, followed by a close-up of a loggerhead sea turtle. You could just keep prompting, and the AI would generate clip after clip, all visually consistent, building out a full documentary sequence, or picture a little rom-com scene, establishing shot of the cafe. Then, a woman is reading beside the window, followed by a close-up of the coffee and the book. Notice how the details, the lighting, the vibe all stay consistent. Then, a man enters the cafe. You can see how you could build out a whole narrative sequence. But wait! There's more! Instead of just creating new scenes with hard cuts between them, this AI can do something even smoother. You can give it an existing video clip and ask it to extend it seamlessly based on a new prompt. For instance, take a video of an SUV driving in a forest, then prompt it with drives along a coastal highway. The AI doesn't just cut to a new scene, it transforms the existing scene, blending the forest drive into a coastal one. It's a smooth transition. Prompt it again with drives into a beautiful village, and the coastal road morphs into a village scene, then drives across a golden field. You get the idea. These transitions are remarkably fluid, not just jarring cuts. A really powerful feature. Now, here's something that even surprised the researchers. They didn't specifically train the model to do this, but it turns out it can take separate still images of characters and environments and combine them to generate a video. For example, you could feed it a photo of, say, Geoffrey Hinton and another photo of a museum, and it can generate a video clip of Geoffrey Hinton walking around inside that museum. That's kind of mind-blowing that it figured that out on its own. And yes, you can combine these awesome features. So, you've generated that first scene of Geoffrey Hinton in the museum. For the next scene, you could add another reference image, maybe one of Jan LeCun, and prompt the AI to have them talk to each other. And it just does it. How cool is that? There's one more super useful trick up its sleeve. Scene interpolation. Let's say you have two video clips that you want to connect, but they don't flow well together. Maybe the action jumps too abruptly. You can use this AI to generate a bridging scene between them to smooth out the transition. It essentially fills in the gap. Since there could be many ways to bridge the gap, the AI can even suggest multiple options. You can also guide it with a text prompt. So, with all these amazing capabilities, you're probably wondering where you can get your hands on it. Well, here's the slightly disappointing part. If you look at the project page, Unfortunately, there's no GitHub repository or code release mentioned yet. It's a real shame because this tool feels like it could be a total game changer for anyone wanting to create longer, more complex, and consistent AI videos. We can only hope they decide to open source it eventually. For now, though, you can check out their page to see more examples of what it can do. Alright, let's switch gears and talk about something crucial for anyone who deals with audio or video content, meetings, or even just voice notes: accurate and efficient transcription. And that's where Notta AI comes in. Notta is a powerful AI-powered transcription and note-taking platform. What sets it apart? First off, the sheer breadth of its language support. We're talking transcription in 58 languages and translation capabilities in 42. That's a game changer for global teams or anyone working with multilingual content. Notta isn't just about basic transcription. It's got some seriously smart AI features baked in. Think AI summarization, perfect for getting the key takeaways from long meetings. Smart segmentation, which automatically breaks down the audio into logical chunks. And even multilingual mix detection, so it can handle conversations where people are switching between languages. Plus, they have an AI chat feature. This lets you ask the AI questions and get suggestions right during the meeting, like having a smart assistant there with you. And for Zoom or Teams meetings, Notta integrates directly. It'll automatically generate time-stamped notes so you can focus on the conversation, not frantic scribbling. This is a huge time saver. Got a ton of audio to process? Notta can handle bulk imports of up to 10 gigabytes of audio files. The editing experience is generally smooth, and you've got real-time collaboration features, allowing for basic text sharing and commenting with your team. Need to export your transcriptions? No problem. You can grab SRT subtitles and even generate PowerPoint templates from your notes. Finally, and this is important, Notta takes security seriously. They're SOC2 Type 2 certified and offer EU server options for enhanced data protection. Overall, Notta AI is a powerful and versatile transcription tool that can significantly boost your productivity. Check out the link in the description to start your free trial and for a special discount. And now, let's move on to our next AI tool. Get ready for speed demons. Nvidia just dropped a blazing fast image generator called Santa Sprint, and the best part? It's completely free and open source. Now, for those unfamiliar with the nitty-gritty of image generation, you know those models like Stable Diffusion or Flux? They work by starting with a noisy image, basically digital static, and then gradually refining it step by step until you get the image you described in your prompt. Think of it like sculpting a masterpiece from a block of rough stone. In tools like Comfy UI, you control the number of these steps to find the balance between speed and detail. Most image generators need at least 20 of these steps to produce decent results, but that takes time and processing power. Santa Sprint, on the other hand, it can spit out a surprisingly good image in just one step. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a demo where they fed it 100 different prompts. Boom, it generated all those images in a mere 12 seconds. That's incredible speed. And the images themselves? Pretty darn good, especially considering they're all high resolution, 1024 by 1024 pixels. Now, while one step is impressive, you can crank up the quality by adding more steps. For example, compare images generated with 2 steps, 4 steps, and then those from the Santa base model, which requires at least 20 steps for decent results. The difference in speed is staggering. The base model, about 2.8 images per second. Santa Sprint with 4 steps, 11 images per second. And if you stick to just 2 steps, you're looking at a mind-blowing 13 images per second. Let's look at some examples. Even with just 1 to 4 steps, Santa Sprint produces incredibly detailed images. Check this out. An astronaut lying in the middle of white roses. Beautiful. Here's another. A juicy gourmet cheeseburger. Man, that looks delicious. But seriously, the level of detail is impressive. And then there's this prompt. A young woman with blonde hair in a bright lit room with a plain background. But wait, it gets weirder. The prompt goes on to specify that she's upper middle class income, possibly between 50K and 100K per year. It even mentions her religious beliefs and political affiliations. I've never seen a prompt this specific before, so I pose the question to you. Just by looking at the image, does she look like an upper middle class woman in that income bracket? Let me know in the comments. Now, how does Santa Sprint stack up against other top dogs like Stable Diffusion XL, Stable Diffusion 3.5 Turbo, and Flux Schnell? Let's find out. We'll use this prompt. Luffy from One Piece, handsome face, fantasy style. With just 1 step, the Stable Diffusion models? Not pretty. They need at least 4 to 6 steps to look decent. Flux Schnell is better, but it's incredibly slow. Santa Sprint, 0.31 seconds, and look at that. A fantastic fantasy-style Luffy. Another example, bright scene, Aerial view of an ancient city. With 2 steps, the stable diffusion models struggle. Fluxional is decent, but you're waiting 7 times longer for each image compared to Sana Sprint. And Sana Sprint? Stunningly beautiful. Finally, this prompt. 3 digital art of an adorable ghost holding a heart-shaped pumpkin. With 4 steps, the stable diffusion models start to look a bit better, but they don't quite capture the heart-shaped pumpkin detail. Fluxional gets closer, but Sana Sprint absolutely nails it. That little ghost is adorable. The good news? This isn't some exclusive club. Sana Sprint will be open source. If you check out the GitHub repo, they've announced that the code is coming soon. You'll find all the instructions on how to download and use it right there. I'll link to the main page in the description below so you can explore more about Sana Sprint. It's a game changer, and I can't wait to see what the community creates with it. Okay, let's wrap things up with a whirlwind tour of some exciting large language model news. It feels like every week there's a new breakthrough, and this past one was no different, with some major players dropping impressive updates. First off, Google unleashed its latest powerhouse, Gemini 2.5 Pro. Interestingly, they dropped this right around the same time OpenAI was making waves with its new image generator. Coincidence? Probably not. Google and OpenAI seem to enjoy releasing their big guns simultaneously, maybe just to steal a bit of each other's spotlight. While OpenAI's image stuff got a lot of buzz, Gemini 2.5 Pro is genuinely a massive deal. It's packed with advanced reasoning skills, making it exceptional at complex stuff like high-level coding, tricky math problems, and scientific reasoning. But here's the really wild part. It boasts a 1 million token context window, with whispers of 2 million coming soon. Now, the context window is basically how much information, text, code, whatever, you can cram into the model's memory in one go. To put that million tokens into perspective, other top models like OpenAI's latest or Claude 3.5 usually top out around 128K to 200K tokens. DeepSeek R1 is around 128K, so Gemini 2.5 Pro lets you stuff in at least 5 times more data. That's enough space for over 30,000 lines of code, meaning you could potentially feed it your entire codebase for analysis. Or, it's over 700,000 words. Think entire novels or massive research documents. It can even handle over 11 hours of audio. And yes, speaking of audio, it's fully multimodal, happily munching on text, images, audio, and even video inputs. Enough specs though, how good is it really? Well, check out the Arena leaderboard, where users blind test different AI models. Gemini 2.5 Pro, the experimental version, is sitting right at the top, and it's not just leading, it's dominating. The score difference between it and the next best model is almost 40 points, while the models below it are only separated by a few points. That's a huge leap. Looking at other benchmark charts, it consistently ranks #1 across various categories, like overall performance, style control, coding, math, creative writing, and following instructions. The best part? You can actually try it out right now for free in Google's AI Studio. Just select the 2.5 Pro experimental option. Next up in our news sprint, DeepSeek released the latest version of their V3 model. Now, this is what we might call a non-thinking model. Unlike DeepSeek R1 or OpenAI's O3 Mini, it doesn't explicitly take extra time to reason before spitting out an answer. And yet, this new version is insanely good, especially, they claim, at reasoning, front-end web development, and using tools. Looking at benchmarks, it holds its own against, or even surpasses, other leading non-thinking models like GPT 4.5 or Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Here's a cool example. They showed it coding up an interface with 5 balls bouncing in a spinning hexagon, complete with adjustable settings for gravity, friction, and rotation speed. For a model that just generates the answer directly without that extra thinking step, pulling this off is seriously impressive. An independent leaderboard from Artificial Analysis actually ranks DeepSeek V3 as the top non-thinking model currently available, even beating out models like Claude 3.7, Google's Gemini 2 Flash, and GPT-4o when ranked purely by intelligence among its non-thinking peers. Remember, the absolute top models on that list are thinking models, so they naturally score higher overall, but DeepSeek V3 is leading the non-thinking pack. And let's talk price. Being open source, you can run it locally for free, but if you use their API, it costs around 50 cents per million tokens. Compare that to Claude 3.7, which is about 12 times more expensive, or GPT 4.5, another non-thinking model, which is a staggering 180 times pricier via API, despite DeepSeek V3 performing so well. That's just nuts. The great news is, The model weights are already available on Hugging Face if you want to grab them and try it out locally. Finally, let's talk about Qwen 2.5 Omni from Alibaba. This is another exciting multimodal model that can understand text, video, images, and audio. It even has a built-in voice you can chat with in real time. And the best part? Alibaba is open sourcing the whole thing for free. The models are already up on Hugging Face and other platforms for you to download and run locally. They've also provided a GitHub repo with instructions. What's particularly interesting here is the model size. It's only 7 billion parameters. That's small enough to run easily on most modern consumer graphics cards or even on some higher-end smartphones. Comparing it to other multimodal models of a similar size, Qwen 2.5 Omni apparently beats the competition, even models like Gemini 1.5 Pro in some tests for its size class. And get this! They claim its speech generation quality is on par with humans. Besides running it locally, you can try it online for free using their Qwen chat interface. Now, I'll be honest, the quality and intelligence of the real-time voice aren't quite at the level of, say, OpenAI's advanced voice mode or some other dedicated real-time voice systems. But remember, this entire package, text chat, image analysis, audio processing, voice chat, is crammed into a tiny 7 billion parameter model that you can run on your own hardware. You're essentially trading top-tier quality for incredible accessibility and local control. It might not be the tool for solving PhD-level problems, but if you just want a versatile AI companion you can talk to locally, it's a fantastic option. All the links to try it out or download it are on their main page. And that's a wrap on this whirlwind tour of recent AI breakthroughs. Which tool impressed you the most, or which one are you most eager to try? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this AI update, please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more. Don't forget, all the links to everything we discussed today are down in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.